Well, welcome to the country.
Well, thank you for having me.
Only been here a few hours. How are you feeling? You liking it?
A few hours, yeah. No, I got off a plane at 5:30 this morning, and it's now 2.
Yeah. Well, you are in the country sort of talking about some of the roles that you've been in, which is like Hellboy, and a lot of them, funnily enough, you sort of dress up and you have a lot of makeup and stuff on. Yeah. I mean, is that bad for your skin?
Is it bad for your skin? Well, it's not good for it. Yeah, I have pretty resilient skin, but thank goodness. But like working on Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, that was like the longest. It was a 6.5-month shoot, and I was in makeup for 108 days of that shoot. Wow. So that was the most concentrated, like glue and rubber every day. And after a while, the sting and the chemicals, the smell, it's like I could be done. I could be done with this. I could be. Yeah. But then you see the finished product and it's like, well, yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it.
It was worth the pain.
Yeah, exactly.
You sort of speak at
a lot of Christian camps, youth events, churches that have a youth group, and there are sometimes a small town in the Midwest somewhere in America would have like a few different churches that band together to have like an event happen for the whole town at the high school gym on a Saturday night or something.
And Doug Jones turns up.
And Doug Jones turns up, yeah.
What sort of stuff do you're trying to tell these kids?
Well, basically, the main thing the main questions I get asked when I'm there, and what I end up talking about is balancing Christianity and my faith with the whole world of Hollywood, which people conceive to be a very evil, horrific place, full of flying demons, and which I've played on film, but I hate to admit. So I basically talk about weathering through that storm and making it through the Hollywood forest with some light. And but on a more personal note too, when you're looking at an auditorium full of teenage kids, my heart really does go out to them, because as awkward teens go, I was the most awkward of teens. Believe it or not, I was actually tall and skinny. I know, right? I know.
It's crazy.
Crazy to even think about. But I was even thinner than I am now. And I got called things like ostrich and giraffe and skinny bones Jones and whatever.
Yeah.
Kids are cruel to each other. But you realize that the kid calling you the names is every bit as terrified to walk out the front door as you are. So in the long run, so I guess, me waking up and wondering, what was I built for? What on earth could I possibly accomplish with my life? I'm the one that people make fun of. So I developed a sense of humor as a survival technique, and that ended up being something that I use on film now, as well as my tall, skinny, lanky body that has lent itself very well to the type of acting that I do. And I never, so did God have a purpose for me? Absolutely. He knew exactly what he was doing when he formed me in the womb. And so now as a 48-year-old, I have realized exactly why I'm here. So it does come. Your sense of purpose will come. There is a purpose, and that's really basically what I'm trying to tell teens when I go out and talk to them.
One of the interesting things I saw, that when you first read the Hellboy script, you were like, I don't know if I can do this, because it's about a demon.
Yeah. The lead character is a demon from hell, and like, how could our hero be? Oh. Yeah. Because when I got the script and the comic books from the director Guillermo del Toro, I was like, okay, I'll get back to you tonight. And I'm like walking away thinking, okay, how am I going to say no? I have to be nice. I'll say no, but thank you so much. And then I started reading the script, and it was like, well, wait.
Yeah.
Basically, to write, this is a mistake that a lot of Christians do make, is they want to write something off before they know exactly what it is about or whatever. Yes, if I looked at that just as the lead as a demon and therefore I will not play in this movie, I would have missed something really, really special. When I talked to Guillermo del Toro later that night after reading the script on the phone, I said, why am I not at all offended? And he said, it was not meant to offend you, my friend. He has a big, thick accent. And I said, he said that this story is about baggage, and all of us having some. And we all have a past. We all have woes and sins in our past that we tend to drag with us through life, It is our decision at some point or another to cut that free. Now, the Hellboy movie franchise does not preach the gospel necessarily, but there's a very simple lesson in that can turn into a conversation starter. Do we have baggage? Yes. Is there a chance to cut it free and to move on with freedom in our lives? Absolutely. Now, of course, the way that I chose to do that was by receiving Christ into my life, asking him to forgive me and repenting of all my sin, and hey, I'm free. So there is a method, but this movie presents the possibilities, I think.
I read somewhere that that was something you looked for, was redemptive.
Redemptive quality to script. Well, great, because you know, if I'm asked to play, you know, an alien from outer space or a demonic thing, which I have played before, what's the big picture? You know, I could just say, oh, I will not play a demon, I'm a Christian. Or I could look at the whole script and see what's the story we're telling, and someone has to be the bad guy in a good story. So that I can do, you know, and I have done. So I do like stories, even if they've got some scary, some blood, some gore, whatever. If it has an artistic quality to it, and as the main story being told is a redemptive one, then I'll be a part of that. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, what can we expect from Armageddon, the expo? Because I mean, you've been to heaps of these all around the world. What can we expect?
Well, this one, of all of the fan convention type things I've been to, this one is one of the fun ones, really, because they have lots of contests and games for the fans to do while they're there during the day. Last year, I was in Wellington at the same company had one, and they had pillow fights, and this time they have costume contests, and they have you know, like food eating contests and all kinds of fun things and stuff. So for the geek in all of us, it's like it's heaven to be.
I've heard rumors about this. You are good mates with, you know, again,
Guillermo
del Toro, and he is the director for the next Hobbit.
Yes,
next two Hobbits.
The Hobbit movies. Yes.
Any chance of Doug Jones coming back to New Zealand?
Yeah. Well, I'll say sure. There's a chance. I have nothing confirmed. Nothing promised to me yet. But Guillermo del Toro was asked the same question in front of me at a red carpet event back in the States at the Saturn Awards, the sci-fi Oscars it was, where a journalist on the red carpet said, so Guillermo, what do you have for Doug and the Hobbit? It was right in front of me, and we had never discussed this. And he said, well, I'm sure I'll put Doug through some sort of pain and torture. I'm like, you know. But then he went on to say, of course, I have nothing official to report yet, but let me say this. If I direct a hemorrhoid commercial, Doug Jones will be in it. So that was a nice way of saying he'll find something for me in most everything he'll do, and which is comforting. So I'm sure I'll be showing up somewhere in the films, but you know.
Good stuff. All right, Doug Jones, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hug you.
Oh,
You are.